G5 says, any issues with any plugins or Logic Pro yet since the update to Sequoia? Not anything that I haven't been dealing with prior to Sequoia. Like, I've been dealing with Contact just not loading up instruments that were on there. That was pre-Sequoia though. But since I upgraded to Sequoia, I haven't really, I haven't had any plugin issues that I've ran into yet, at least with the ones that I use. Y'all know this from just sync agreements, perpetual license deals forever. You're not getting out of it. You're locked in. Ball and chain. Gabba Music Works says, can you elaborate on MLC and Harry Fox as regards to keeping your music in the sync world versus if you intend on releasing it? I am not an expert at MLC or Harry Fox for real. I know it deals with mechanical stuff. Harry Fox specifically, mechanical royalties like from album sales and things like that. But look up what's her name? Oh man, I can't remember her name. But we did a podcast maybe a couple years ago, and her company does like pub admin and stuff like that. She can break all that stuff down. I just can't remember her or the company's name right now, which is insane. It'll come to me. And then but Songtrust. I think Songtrust has some articles on that stuff as well. That's super insightful, or their YouTube channel. What advice for getting rid of my 9-to-5 job for me to work my brown but a full-time music producer? I'm so tired. Any help for me to work my brown? I don't understand that part, but it sounds like you're trying to ditch the 9-to-5 and do music full-time. I'd say, if your music business is making the same or more than your day job, then you could possibly be in a position, and is doing that consistently, then I feel like, that's a comfortable place to make a leap, depending on how much risk you're willing to take or are able to take. That may vary, you know what I mean? Some people can make it work with less, some people not so much. But if you can consistently bring in income that matches what you're doing a 9-to-5, or that's close to that, because think about it, like if you get your time back after quitting the 9-to-5, you'll probably be able to output more and earn more working for yourself. So, if you're able to do that on a consistent basis, for me, it was like, I wanted to see 3 years. Like if I can do that 3 years in a row, then it's not just like, oh, we had a good year and then nothing. But if you can do that 3 years in a row, you're doing something right. And if you can do that part-time, then full-time, you can just really run it up. So I would gauge that and then save up emergency, and it's like 6 months of bills and stuff to cover you if you have slow months while you're working full-time. That'll give you a little bit of cushion. If it doesn't work out, you got a little bit of time to figure something out before you just, crash and burn. But that would be my advice. Save up, get comfortable, get a nice little emergency fund, pay off any debt that you just don't have to worry about, and then, make a decision from there. LV Drizzle says BandLab is dope. A lot of people sleeping on it. BandLab is dope. Like I have some videos I need to make about BandLab. BandLab is, I'm not mad at BandLab. I used it on the iPad as well. I was like at the dealership just like playing around with it. And it has plugins and stuff and sounds and loops, samples, and all types of stuff in there. So you can get some work done in BandLab. I'm not gonna hate on BandLab, especially if you're if I was just starting out, it would probably, since I use Mac, it would probably be GarageBand if I was just starting out, honestly. But then BandLab will be a strong runner-up in terms of DAWs that I would use. So yeah, shout out to BandLab. But yeah, definitely understand, man, that 9-to-5 being tiresome for sure. Do I need to hire a lawyer for my music business production? Well, it depends. Depends on. I mean, I always recommend like having a lawyer or knowing a lawyer for some things. Like if you're dealing with contracts and agreements, at some point you're probably going to, consult a lawyer. If you're dealing with properly setting up your business, you'll probably end up talking to a lawyer at some point. If you're trying to protect the intellectual property of your business, you'll probably end up talking to some type of lawyer. So yeah, do you need to hire one to start the business? Not necessarily. I mean, I didn't have one, but it just depends on what you understand, what you don't understand, and things that you may want to potentially avoid. You're probably ready to start trying to get TV placements, but you just don't know the next step to take. So I want you to download my free Sync Producer Quick Start Guide, which is going to help you do that. It's going to give you the steps and it's going to give you resources to get you started on this journey. So just go to clintproductions.com/free guide or click the link in the description and download that free Sync Producer Quick Start Guide. G5 says, what legal pitfalls should music producers be aware of in the sync licensing industry? Man, I think a huge one is just not reading the agreement or not understanding the agreement, signing the agreement, and then trying to like save money by not hiring a lawyer. Just going back to the lawyer thing, like sometimes you just gotta spend the money and just get a lawyer and stop trying to do everything through LegalZoom and Google and ChatGPT. Like, even though I use ChatGPT for some stuff, but like if you don't understand it, man, you got to get somebody who can interpret that for you and just give you in layman's terms what this is saying. What rights are you giving up? What are you agreeing to, so that you at least know, and then you can make an educated decision. I don't feel sorry for anybody in sync or in the music business who say, oh, I signed a bad deal, blah blah blah. Like, you signed it. Nobody made you write and sign your name. You signed it. You just didn't read it because it was there the whole time. Like, nobody was trying to trick you or hide you. It wasn't invisible ink on page 7. Like, you sat there and was super excited, especially if you got an advance or something, and you just signed it. So it's like, if you don't get the interpretation or legal advice, things like that can happen. So that's a pitfall, like not reading the agreement, not understanding what you're doing. I think that's the biggest one, honestly, because if you understand it, then boom, you're good. And then knowing, like, because now a lot of publishers, if you're a producer who's like used to using samples and stuff, a lot of publishers they're like putting in their agreement, sign here to say you own 100% of this music and it's 100% original. So that means you can't have like a royalty-free loop in there, even if it's royalty-free, even if the company you got that loop from says, hey, you can use this in TV. They want it to be 100% original. So making sure like you understand that and you read that, I think those are two big things and pitfalls you can avoid just by paying attention. So yeah.